Hello and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. How are you all? Are you all having a lovely day? I've got a hair in my mouth. I've just had to move Minnie off this chair and she's really not happy about it, are you? Sorry, Minnie. Today is a book haul video. I'm going to be talking about the books that I received in the end of May, beginning of June. I've got some that I've bought, I've got some that I've been sent, I've got one that I bought for David as a gift, but I'm also planning on reading myself, so I thought I'd mention that too. There's 8 books in here in total, blah, 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 blah. Let's just get on with it. The first one is one that I've just been to the post office to pick up. Oh my goodness me, the queue in the post office was unbelievable, wasn't it, David?
It was
crazy. We were queuing outside. It was unbelievable. It is Sunday today when I'm filming this, and the post office opens for 4 hours to collect parcels, and I feel like everybody in the world had gone there. Anyway, this has been sent to me by Penguin. It's the Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. It is Pride Month and Penguin platform are back with the Pride Book Club, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing that they run every year all over on the Penguin platform social media, where they read a number of books that are related to LGBTQ plus authors and characters. These are the books that they'll be discussing, and they asked me if I wanted one, and I opted for this one, The Miseducation of Cameron Post. But let me tell you about the books that they've got in there. So, The Miseducation of Cameron Post, Don't Call Us Dead by Denez Smith, Trans Britain, Our Journey from the Shadows, edited by Christian Burns, Love Simon by Becky Albertall, The Gloaming by Kirsty Logan, which is one I've already read, and The Terrible by Yrsa Daley-Ward. Yeah, so I opted for The Miseducation of Cameron Post, and this is why I'd never heard of this book before, but when they sent them to me, this was the one that I went for, and it says here, the night Cameron Post's parents died, her first emotion was relief. Relief they would never know that hours earlier she'd been kissing a girl. Now living with her conservative aunt in a small town Montana, hiding her sexuality and blending in becomes second nature to Cameron until she begins an intense friendship with the beautiful Coley Taylor. Desperate to correct her niece, Cameron's aunt takes drastic action. Now Cameron must battle with the cost of being her true self, even if she's not completely sure who that is. Which sounds very, very interesting, and this is actually going straight on my TBR. I'd already planned the books that I planned on reading in June, but as it's Pride Book Month and Pride Month, I am definitely going to be reading this. So that, I'm leaning over now. That's gone on my June TBR pile, so well done then. The next one is one that I was also sent by the publisher. I was sent by Skepta, and this is coming out in July 2008. This is a proof copy, so I don't know what the finished front cover's going to look like, but this is Suicide Club by Rachel Heng, and I also got really cute little pin sent to me as well, which says, they left us no choice. So when the title of this, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to fancy that, but the actual blurb of it sounds very, very... I'm not focused, I'm focused now. Very, very interesting. Sometime in the near future, immortality is about to become a reality for the fortunate few. Leah thought she was one of the lucky ones. She has a high-powered job, she exercises every day, she hasn't eaten sugar in years. But one small mistake puts her under ministry surveillance and attracts the attention of the Suicide Club. I'm saying squad because that's a film, isn't it? An activist cell who meet to indulge in society's forbidden pleasures, meat, jazz, sex and death. Now Leah's about to learn what it really means to be alive. So yeah. It's coming out in it's coming out in July. Yeah, I feel like I'm excited about it, and very excited. They've got right to my heart by getting me a pin, which I'm looking forward to. The next one is one that I bought myself as a bit of a treat, because it's a bit naughty really, because it's quite pricey for a book, but I'd wanted it for a long time, and I said to myself, next time I see it in a bookshop, I'm going to buy it. And Jean and I were in Waterstones on Gower Street, and they had it, and it's the Penguin cloth-bound classic of Wide Sargasso Sea. I love cloth-bound classics. I've got a whole shelf of them here. You can just see a few of them there. I normally get them, this bloody blanket's falling down. I normally get them for birthdays and Christmas. My sister and and David's mum often get me one for birthdays and Christmas. David, you've been known to get me one occasionally, haven't you? Mm-hmm. I think David bought me Sense and Sensibility, and he's bought me a few more. But I love them, and I just think they're so beautiful. And Wide Sargasso Sea by Jean Rees is a book that I read when I was at sixth form, when I was doing A-level English, and it's a pre, what do you call it when something's like before a film, like before a book? A prequel. It's a prequel, and I'm sure when Jean Rhys wrote this, she didn't think, oh, I'm going to write a prequel. It's a prequel to Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre is a book that I have read and enjoyed many times, but this is one that I just absolutely bloody loved at school, and I haven't reread it since. I actually already own it in the Penguin Modern Classics with the white spine, but I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. Look at it, it's purple naked hardback with this cloth bound stuff on it, and then all these like leaves and fronds. Oh, it's wonderful. And it focuses on the woman in the attic who's in Jane Eyre, and I'm just really looking forward to reading it. It's only a little tiny slip of a thing. I think I'm going to treat myself to this as it's a bit, because it's set in a hot country as well, it's a bit hot, and yeah, so I think I'm going to put this on my July TBR, and very much looking forward to it. But I own it because I hadn't seen it in any shops, and I was like, next time I'm in a shop and it's there, I'm going to buy it. But it was £15 so that is quite pricey, isn't it, for a book that's this small, when the other ones. Let me just have a look, because I got Middlemarch. Middlemarch was also £15, so it's obviously just a that's a standard price. So in that way, if you're going to buy one of these for £15, go for Middlemarch. Look how big that is compared to that. Got to put this back now. The next one is one that I was sent by the publisher. It is Sally Rooney, Normal People, and she is the author of Conversations with Friends. This comes out in September 2018. I read Conversations with Friends, maybe not next month, the month before. It was my book club book. Really divided us, you know. My book club online, one of us gave this 1 star and one of us gave it 5 stars, so like a really divisive book. I quite enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars, probably on reflection, which I think is always the best way to rate a book. Probably knock that down to 3, but I did enjoy it while I was reading it. This is, it says here on the back, because I don't know anything about it, and it was sent to me unsolicited. I didn't even know it was coming, so what a lovely surprise. In school, he and Marianne affect not to know each other. People know that Marianne lives in the white mansion with the driveway and that Connell's mother is a cleaner, but no one knows of the special relationship between these facts. Normal People is a love story about how difficult it is to talk about how we feel. It shows us how we can change each other's lives, perhaps in small ways, but deeply and enduringly. So yeah, thanks very much, and I like this little pink and white thread that they've done around there. Very nice. The next book is the book that I aforementioned that I bought David, and I probably will get round to reading at some point. And that is Giovanna and Tom Fletcher's Eve of Man. David is, I mean, I don't want to say you're Tom Fletcher's biggest fan, but you're a big fan of Tom Fletcher, aren't you? He loves his booktube channel. He hasn't got a booktube channel. He loves his YouTube channel. He loves his music. He loves his films. We've been to see Christmasaurus, and I bought this for him. Also, let me just show you beneath. It's lovely. Also, I got this online, and when I've got it, you can't really see, but this is ripped. But when I said to David, did he want me to send it back? He said no, because he just wants to read it. This is a book about a world where a female has not been born for 50 years. And one day there's a baby and it is a girl, and she is called Eve. This is told from the perspective of 2 characters, Eve and I think it's Bram. It is Bram. And Eve's chapters are written by Giovanna Fletcher, and Tom's chapter and Bram's chapters are written by Tom. So it's sort of like a futuristic love story. It sounds a bit sort of like Black Mirror-ish, like sort of dystopian. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not nervous. Like I'm sort of like I'm wondering what I'll think of it, because having read having read Tom's books, Tom wrote The Christmasaurus, which is a lovely children's book about a little boy called William Trundle who loves dinosaurs, and is just wonderful. We went to see the stage show last year and it was just amazing. He's an extremely talented guy, and I've also read a few of his picture books to my goddaughter and things like that. And David, I got you The Creakers, didn't I, for Christmas? That's another middle grade book he's done as well. And feel like they're lovely. Giovanna writes contemporary women's fiction, which isn't a genre that I read or am into at all. However, when I first joined Audible, I sort of panicked one day and bought one of her books and hated it. So I'm intrigued. Like, on one side, I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this because I enjoy Tom's writing and things like that, but I also don't like women's contemporary fiction. But this isn't women's contemporary fiction, so I'm intrigued to see where it'll go. David's going to read it first, and I also feel like my sister's going to want to read this. So I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but I will get to it at some point. Maybe some point this summer, who knows. I imagine it's actually much bigger than I thought it would be as well. And then the next one is one that I have been sent by the publisher and I'm super excited about. These two books have appeared in my holiday TBR. This is A Place for Us by Fatima Farheen Mirza, and this is about an Islamic family, an Indian Muslim family, as they prepare for the eldest daughter's wedding. But Hadia's wedding, which is one of love and not tradition, it gathers the family back together. There's only one thing on their mind. Can Amar, the estranged younger brother of the bride, be trusted to behave himself after 3 years away? So yeah, I am really looking forward to this. Jen has raved about this so much and I just feel very, very excited. Let's have a look at what it looks like underneath. It's yellow, nice. So yeah, I'm going to get around to this soon. This is like, oh, I'm going to get around to this soon, but I've been reading Shantaram for so long that I just haven't got round to anything else, so I'm really, really catching up on this. This is one that I bought for myself after seeing so much hype about it. I saw in one night, I think I saw like Mercedes had mentioned it on her channel, I saw it on 2 people's Instagrams, and then someone else was talking about it on Twitter, and I bought it and I started it, but guys, it's too scary for me. I think I'll go back to it eventually, but at the moment it's just too scary for me. And it's I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara, and it is Michelle McNamara's look and investigations into finding the Golden State Killer, who was a killer and rapist who was active towards the end of the 70s and the beginning of the 80s in the States. And oh my god, I'm only 40 pages in and it was just too much. I was reading it on the train and I was just like, oh my goodness me, I don't know when there's going to be an opportunity that I'm going to read this. Like, I don't want to read it when I'm going to be like staying on my own anytime. I don't want to be reading it when I'm staying in a place that I don't know. And yeah, I mean, I think I'll probably get round to it at some point. Like, she writes very well and it does feel like, and it was a page turner, but I was bloody terrified. So yeah, I bought this after seeing it, after so many people mention it, and then I've just sort of started it but put it down for a bit because just too scary for me at the moment. And then the last book is one that I got sent by the publisher and I'm very excited about it, and it is a cookbook, and it is Bosh. Simple recipes, amazing food, all plants. So it's a vegan cookbook from the 2 boys, Henry Firth and Ian Thiesby, who are the Bosh boys, who have a food tube channel where they cook vegan food. I really like their channel. It's very upbeat. It's upbeat, and I discovered them through the Happy Pair, who is someone that they're a pair of vegan cooks and food tubers that I talk about quite often. And the Bosh boys had appeared on their channel ahead of this book coming out. And yeah, it's just loads of vegan recipes, pasta caponata, Rogan Bosh, massaman curry, and just very, very exciting things. Now, I haven't made a thing out of this yet because when I haul my books, I pop them in a little pile behind me. They go there until I haul them. So I need to have a good proper look through this. But they've got some really exciting things with this. And I actually heard that this is the fastest selling cookbook of 2018, which is amazing. Imagine a world where a vegan cookbook is the fastest selling cookbook of 2018. So yeah, very exciting. And we'll definitely be cooking some of that. Oh god, it's so heavy. Pop that down. So those are the books that I've got my little mitts on recently. What have you guys been getting your hands on? Have you read, or are you excited about any of these books that I've got here? And yeah, I'll see you all again soon for another booktube video.